this is crazy to me. It's like I'm here and it's happening. It's all real now. So I hit my 10-year mark last year doing, photography, art. I picked it up around 2011, 2012. I think back to like how I started and what I was shooting then and the visions I had for myself and how I was already thinking like, man, I want to do these big things, but in reality, they weren't really that big. They were just like the capacity for my dreams at the time. And so over time, I was able to travel and, see art in different places. And so, my visions and my dreams became bigger and it kind of like adjusted to like my experiences and where I was at that time in my life. And so I feel like just to see all of this in one place, it's like, damn, like I brought a bunch of things to life. Like this started from nothing.
So what do you think about this? This is an 8, so it's a little bit. Okay, so we'll do 6.
If I could dedicate this show to something, it would be dedicated to the South. This is me just tying my entire life, my entire story, just into these works, really pouring myself into it, trying to make sure it's a connection to the South, a connection to family, a connection to community, a connection to the Black identity. So I really want my work to represent the South.
I don't really know what I'm looking for, but I know what I like, and when I see it, I know it needs to be captured. But I usually don't go into it with an idea. I just let life happen.
What really made you kind of take a leap and do something so different, not with a camera?
I grew up doing this with my dad. Like this was pretty much my first job. When I was about 13, during the summer, I would go with him. I would just kind of be there to just help. But over time, I was able to like really see the value in it. I just started to build like a respect for him, a respect for the work he does. Because I think he was like the best around. Like he was known as like the concrete man because he was really that good. And he took that much care into his work. Like he really paid attention to all the details. I took that and it kind of just carried over into my work. In 2020, I was telling a friend that I used to do concrete. I was like, yo, well, this is what I grew up doing. I'm thinking about getting back into it. It's like a side hustle. And he was like, man, you can come pour my patio. And so I got my dad up here. We were able to do the job together. And it was just like real quality time with my dad as like an adult. It was really cool. And so from there, I just started to kind of think about other ways that I could use the concrete. I stumbled across an idea and I just kind of started to build it out in my head. And now I was here at the Frist. So it's like it really came full circle. Went back far as I guess 2017, just finding different posters, different sayings, texts that I had kind of like put in my notes, and a few of them maybe were even created in the last maybe 6 months. Usually in the street you have to worry about, for one, you have to get permission, for wherever you're trying to paste, unless it's guerrilla style. And so that's one thing, that's one element you're dealing with. And then you're dealing with just weather. It could be cold, it could be raining. So being able to do it in a controlled environment, you're able to step back and actually focus on the job. You're able to pay attention to the small details. It turns out a lot better because you're pasting on a drywall versus stone or brick. That usually rips the paper. you have to use water a lot, so that makes the colors bleed. Versus this, it's like it's almost perfect. It's almost perfect.
What does the baby Jesus poster mean to you?
It's just like it's a reference to Southern spirituality. Growing up, you don't necessarily see an image of God or an image of Jesus that you can visually relate to. And so this was my chance to create my own version, created in the likeness of myself, you know. And that's actually one of my cousins. And so being able to use family members is, I don't know, it kind of ties back into creating tradition, creating a legacy, creating like those breadcrumbs that can kind of tell the full story.
Born again church on Sundays, wearing hand-me-downs. Pleated khakis, my mama cut my hair at the sink. Fake is sick to skip service with your family now. I know the truth, and that means real life ain't as fair as you think. I made my name off of rapping and keeping white forces. Kroger checks getting blown in the sands with my reputation.
People complain about it not having resources or not having the, you know, things that LA or New York or Miami or some other big cities have, but the story is here, the history is here. It's just finding a way to like tell that story and just kind of shine a light on what's already here, what's already happening.
If the cops come, tell them you ain't seen nothing. I'm just trying to have a good time, but holla at me if you need some. I never ran from a fight. I never ran from a fight. I never ran from a fight. Never ran from a fight. I never ran from a fight.